Yes, yes, people, we are back live. We are back live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube for another Manchester United, Chelsea, Tottenham Hotspur show. Man United podcast, Ballers at the Bridge podcast, talking that Tottenham Talk podcast. And there is a lot to discuss. You know what I'm saying, in regards to just Manchester United solely. Obviously, the Højlund deal has now been done, so I'll be giving my thoughts on that first and foremost. Secondly, getting the thoughts of the chat and any questions from the chat as well. Before I introduce my regular co-host of the show, please make sure you hit the like button on the video. Vitally important you do that. Share this across the socials and subscribe to the channel Sarcasm City TV. Again, people, hit that like button immediately. Make sure you share across all the social media apps you are active on. I don't know whether to call it Twitter or call it X, but yes, make sure you retweet and like on Twitter. Make sure you share from the gram and subscribe to the Sarcasm City TV YouTube channel as well. Surf is in the building. Jazz is in the building. Surf, what are you telling me, man? You good?
Yeah, I'm all good, man. I'm all good. I'm working away this weekend, but on early, so like an old man and a cat, I've had a nap. So, I should be refreshed and ready to go. So let's do this.
Yeah.
Second, thank you for coming on the stream yesterday. That
No,
wasn't a stream we were expecting because it was off the cuff. You know what I mean?
It was off the cuff, yeah. You don't have to, first and foremost, you don't have to thank me. One is you, two is Marshall, is casually. So that's calm. I always, for any, especially like a celebration like that, because that's a big deal. And I didn't expect it to go
that
the
went
way
off.
that it went. It was good. I enjoyed it. It was enjoyed it. Shout out to Russian, man. And we will be back over there resuming that, people. That's me behind enemy lines and that. Like, I forgot where I was at. On a Chelsea channel with Chelsea
panelists. It was
and the comment section.
Captain America Endgame, the scene where he's like, that scene where he's like up against like Thanos' troops before the portal.
Yes.
Like that, bro.
So it was like I was ready. You know what I'm saying? I was like, all right, let's go. I was like, I'm ready. Big up to Jess in the cut as well. Yes, Jess, what are you telling me, family? You good?
Yeah, man, I'm good. What you guys saying? I'm
man.
Just chilling.
Oh, bless. Large up to everyone in the chat. I can see people in the chat already talking about the Højlund deal. And how much is it, people? Because what I don't like is Manchester United have signed Højlund. Everyone knows maths ain't my strongest suit anyway, and people want to put it in euros. Put it in pounds, because when other deals get done by English clubs, put it in pounds. No disrespect to any editors.
It's a new thing to make it bigger, the transfer fee bigger.
It makes the fee. They didn't do that with Rice. Hey. They didn't go, it's 120 million euros or 120. Yeah. No, they said pounds. What is it in pounds?
How come first of all,
if you're in England, he's in England. English.
If you're in England, a fan of an English club, why are you going euros? Why aren't you going?
Why are we in euros?
Yeah,
why?
Yeah, but you came from Atalanta, so it's euros, man. So you gotta just deal with that. Man.
Yeah, I know, but what's
crazy?
What they're set? But hey, when they send the money, they're not sending it in euros; they're sending it in pounds.
Yeah, facts. Like, what are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? What are we doing? Large up everyone that is tapped in as well. HKM Music, big up for the super chat. Let me get to that. He says we paid £73 million for the kid, so it's 73. But is that with add-ons though? This is what I'm confused about. It's 64 up front, and then is there like 8 million in add-ons or something like that? I seen two.
It probably is with the add-ons because the Euros one is 75. 75 is the upfront, or like the main bit, and then the 50 million are the add-ons, innit? Which makes it to 8. Yeah, man. It wasn't even 15. It was 10, so it made it to 85, innit? So I think 85 makes it to like 73 or something like that. So I don't know, man.
Okay.
I don't know the conversion rate like that.
Yeah, neither do I. I know around about, because I've been talking so much about trying to move pounds to euros. I kind of estimate where it's at. But when I seen it in euros, I said, put it in pounds, please. Like, what are we doing? And welcome to the show. It's been a minute, man. Like, Peter's in the building. Yes, family. What are you saying? You good?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. It's a good day.
Yeah, man. Good. It's been a minute, man. Everyone bless.
Yeah, I'm good. I just got off work, so I thought I'd stop by and see what the fuck we're talking about.
Yeah, man, it's all good. But yeah, HKN, big up for the super chat as well. Of course, if you do indeed super chat, we'll get straight to it. It says we paid £73 million. See, this is what I don't like. There's hella confusion now, because I've seen...
Yeah, we've seen 4 different answers in the chat. What's going on?
I've seen 73 million.
I see 73, 72, 60 plus 12, 60 fixed. Like, what's going on?
Are they just doing a recreation of the bidding process? Is that what they're doing in the chat?
Yeah, what? This didn't clear up anything, chat. Now we're more confused.
Yeah, it's not on you lot, because I know what socials is like, and it's just I've seen different sums on there in regards to how much it is as well. And to Jordan, who says, and I get onto it because I see some people complaining about the deal. Some people are for it. Like Jesse said, Højlund, let's go. I get to that in regards to the FPL with the membership as well. Big up Stephanie G as well. Out of context, good to see him in the chat. It says 85 million euros for an unproven bench warmer from Atalanta, 9 goals last season. Ten Hag ensured his agent got paid handsomely. Push United to pay that. Yes, Højlund and Ten Hag have the same agent. 70 million euros plus 15 million add-ons. So that's the most I've seen. But let's say it's 70, 75, 80, 85, whatever. Because I know some of the add-ons is incentive based. That's what I've seen. So in terms of goals, assists, trophies, all that type of thing. In regards to this, he's unproven, yes, but just because you're unproven doesn't make it a bad deal. 99.9% of the players we sign are unproven. Everywhere, not just us, most top clubs, unproven at the levels we're trying to go to. Because most players haven't played in most of the players you're signing haven't played in the Premier League at the highest level, number one. And then number two, haven't played in Europe at the highest level either. So to say unproven, it was a bench one. We played 32 matches. How many of them were starts? I don't know. But I know he played 32 matches. In terms of his 9 goals, you would expect his output to increase. But where did Atalanta finish last season?
I think they finished Europa League like 6th,
5th. Okay, so you want his output. And adding on top, which I just checked, he's 20 years old. So I don't know what people... let's say he would have got 25 goals last season. How much do you think he would have cost? It wouldn't have been this cheap. This potential. If he would have scored 25 goals for Atalanta last season, how much would he's costing? Probably
with no release clause.
Yeah, probably double.
Yeah.
Like, so we're paying for potential. Again, I like the profile. I'm not saying it will work or what it won't, but I like the profile and we needed a striker. So I don't really understand the complaints about it. I don't. Big up to Ed. Big up Sebastian as well. I see you as well. And in regards to Ten Hag and Højlund having the same agent, all right, is what it is. And this to think Chelsea paid peanuts for Nicholas Jackson. Nicholas Jackson is everything you said Højlund is. What's the difference?
Jackson had a release clause. We just paid a little over the release clause.
How much was he?
I think he was 30. Well,
37
in euros,
million
he was
euros,
30.
whatever that translates to.
Yeah. Chelsea did. I think Chelsea did pay just a little bit more over the release clause.
They pay. What we do is we don't pay release clause. We pay just a little bit over for a better payment structure. So that's what we do. So we do that, or we try to do that anyway. So we pay that, but he did have a release clause in that as well. So if they didn't want that, we would just played the release clause anyway. I think because that's 35 million euros or something like that.
Yeah, so everything you just said out of context about Højlund is exactly the same as Nicholas Jackson. He's unproven. So what's the difference? Tell me what's the difference. Bear in mind he's 2 years older as well. Bear in mind he played less games than Højlund last season and only scored 3 more he scored 3 more goals. So he's unproven and only got 12 goals last season. What's the big difference? Is that so if Højlund would have got 12 goals, it would have been like, like bring him in. No one and nobody, I'm not hearing any talk about nobody in the chat, don't do this. You lot didn't mention Nicholas Jackson before Chelsea signed him. Cut the shit. Let's not do this and act like he was the guy that everyone was mentioning to go get. Chelsea signed him and then everyone was aware. Not one person mentioned Nicholas Jackson. Let's not do that. Big up HKN as well for the super chat as well, who says, according to Alfredo Padula, who was first on Onana and Højlund deals, we are putting a bid for Amrabat. I did see that as well. Lewis dropped that in the group chat and I was like, rah. I said, I don't believe it. I'll wait and see. I don't believe that we've just signed a player and we're trying to sign someone else. I'm still in shock. We signed 3 players before August. I still can't believe that. But yeah, like
the case is putting everything in place, man, to make sure the fans are happy. So no protesting.
Our fans are never happy, man. We're a stereotypical woman, man. Our fans will never be happy.
That's what it is.
Fans will never be happy.
Hey, man, just wait till United win those first 2 games.
Hey, and the mood is crazy, heart racing that. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, you know what? And then the takeover talk is gonna slow down in that.
Yeah. None of this green and gold until I'm sold nonsense.
I'm saying it's just extra. Like our fans are just, I've said, is a stereotypical woman, man. You know what I'm saying? Stereotypical mom. Just not happy. Just want to whine, stereotypical grandma. You know what I'm saying? Just want to moan and complain. I love both my grandmas. You know what I'm saying? God rest both of them. But geez, love to both complain. So United fans are like, you know what I'm saying? Like we just never If we buying players, we're moving too slow. Then we sign players quick, then we're overpaying. We do great business for Onana, then we overpay for Højlund. We're moving on Amrabat. Like, what do you bear in mind? We know who our owners are. There's a reason we want them out. I'm surprised we're moving at this rate. And we're not moving any slower than anybody else. And I said this the entire time. You look at all of the deals. You see how long it took. Chelsea are still chasing Caicedo. Look at Manchester City with Vardio. Look at Liverpool with Lavia. Look at Arsenal with Declan Rice, how long that took. But yeah, like, I don't get it. Yeah, like 3 players in 25. I can't believe it. I would have put money on that not happening. But I hope that Amrabat deal. And bear in mind, I like 2 out of 3 signings. I don't get how there's more backlash to Højlund than there is Mount. It makes no sense. When we have much more evidence and one's older. Make that make sense, someone to me in the chat or on the panel. How is there more backlash towards Højlund than there is Mount? And we have a bigger pool, a bigger sample size to go off with Mount. Yeah.
I know. I have no idea what it is.
Exactly.
I have no idea what it is. I have no. I partly do. It's the favoritism to English players as always, or the the less.
I say it just what it is. From like it. The simple thing is, it's the unknown. For somebody you haven't watched for so much.
Yeah.
And with Mount, people are gonna ignore how bad he was and just gonna take the years that he was actually somewhat informed. And this is what people do. So that's why I believe there's more backlash to a Højlund deal compared to another deals, because I mean you see it right now, like you see certain Chelsea fans getting mad that Leslie guy might be the Caicedo alternative. If that would be the case, I saw guys be getting angry on the timelines and that, but it's the same thing like that. It's also more about the unknown. The people get more angry until somebody proved themselves.
I also think it's fans of fear of banter. Man United fans have been giving out. Some Man United fans have given out banter to others for other clubs for paying so much for people that are unknown.
Okay.
So it's the fear. It's the fear of banter, because now what they've got to do, like they were bantering, like Arsenal, Man United fans were bantering Havertz and Mount.
Mm-hmm.
They've now got to flip-flop some of them and defend them, right? So now they've got to, like, with Højlund, no. Like with everything, no, it's euros or pounds or something like this. And so, well, no, we had to do this because it's potential. It's having now to defend something that you were critiquing. Because all Man United fans and most other fans were getting on Liverpool for Darwin Núñez, right? For his one season at Benfica and paying that much, whatever, right? Now going to come back on Man United fans are paying maybe even more for someone who scored less. Do you know what I mean? So now they've got to defend this player because obviously it's their player. Yeah, but they've got to now somehow justify it as well by
I fully get what you're saying
arithmetic, stuff like that. So.
And here's the thing is, I say to Manchester United fans about that, don't worry about that, man. You're going to get shot at and you're going to shoot. I do it, you know what I'm saying, all the time. This is why I say United, we're playing Monday. God forbid, Chelsea and Liverpool are playing. Whoever loses, I'm going there. If City lose to Burnley, I'm going there. If Spurs lose, I'm going there. If Arsenal lose to whoever they're playing, I'm going there. Knowing that we could lose on Monday. Because the thing is, if any of those clubs I mentioned lose, and I don't banter, you think if Manchester United lose, people ain't going to get at me, no? I'm fully aware. We the last game. People have said that to me. Why are you bantering? You lot play tomorrow? Because I'm getting my shots in now. I'm saying, you think Surf is going to leave if Liverpool batter Chelsea on the opening day? Not saying it's going to happen, people. I'm just talking hypothetically. They get packed 3-4-0, and I don't say nothing to Surfer, and then we lose 2-0 to Wolves. You think Surf is not going to say shit to me? You think Peter's not going to say anything to me? You think the rest of the Chelsea man on here ain't going to? No. Of course they're going to say something. Get your shots in. What we talking about, man? I just bantered, and I agree with that. People don't want to be bantered on social media. People take that shit too serious. It is. But HKM, big up for the super chat as well. Large up. Let me get to this from Mike as well. Hey, Mike, brilliant. Big up for the super chat. And his comment is brilliant. He says, going by out of context logic, Liverpool got McAllister for peanuts and Chelsea are overpaying for Caicedo. United fans just love to complain. I agree. And they're both good deals for both clubs. McAllister to Liverpool is a good deal. I think Chelsea do indeed sign Caicedo, and I believe that he'll improve them. depending on, I'm not sure what the price will be though. But large up everyone who's tapped in, over 120 of you lot in the building, only at 38 likes though. Let's bump up the likes, people. We're only at 38. Let's get up to 70 likes, people. Let's go up, hit that like button immediately, man. Like check 1212 and subscribe if you are indeed new, because I know everyone here has not subscribed. Of course, if you super chat, I'll get straight to it. And keep all your questions Manchester United, Chelsea, or Spurs related. Yo, Peter, you there?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've not spoke to you in a minute, so I want to hear your thoughts on this. Caicedo, where do you stand with it currently? Obviously, Chelsea had a bid rejected recently. Are you saying get over the line regardless what they want? Say they want 100 M's? Or are you saying move on to somebody else? Where do you stand with that?
Well, I guess this is why you employ a bunch of supposed geniuses who are really smart and good at recruiting people, right? You need to have alternative plans if your plan A doesn't work out, right? If you don't want to overpay for your plan A, then go find somebody else. I'm not of the belief that Caicedo is some sort of messiah footballer that's going to tie our team together and make us impenetrable. Like, there's probably a handful of other players around the continent that can do that role or something similar, right? For a much more cost-effective price. Because when you start talking 90, 100 million, if we're going to have a midfield, ironically enough, of two 100 million pound midfielders, and then we're going to be in a situation where, like, our backups are kids, then, like, naturally the criticism is going to be, why didn't we allocate our resources more evenly, right? Again, I don't really care what we do or what we don't do. What I won't tolerate is, like, Gallagher starting. I won't tolerate us turning down 40 million pound bids for Gallagher and then starting him because they don't want to overpay for Caicedo, but then they don't have alternatives. Figure something out that's better than what we have, please.
Yeah.
First, where you at with that? Same question to you, Surfer.
I don't know. This is the whole thing. It's like I keep going on about Caicedo is our only summer target, I believe, this summer. The rest are just opportunity deals.
You have said this.
I believe, like I said, on the list of transfers, it's Caicedo, and the rest are question marks because they don't know who. It's just opportunities. The outlay that we've the amount we've recruited during the summer would indicate, there's enough money, more than enough money there to pay for Caicedo. And if you're willing to go 80 for someone, then it's like someone was saying yesterday, well, why not go 90? And it's like, well, if they want 100, why not just pay the extra 10? I don't understand why you'd go do this. Then you'd end up giving a 6 bid or something like that. I agree with Peter. What's the alternative to Caicedo? If it's not there, what is it? Because Lavi is not an alternative given how young he is. He's going to be the same age as like Santos and a little bit younger than Caicedo, just a tiny bit. So he can't come in and be the start when your alternatives are the same age. Do you know what I mean? So he can't do that. And who else is out there? This guy Leslie Ugo Chukwu? There's some rumor going around that apparently he is a Brighton target as well. It's like he's a guy. So wait a minute. You're gonna buy if it's true, by the way, if it's true, you're gonna buy the Brighton target if Caicedo leaves, but not the guy who actually is there, right? And if he's good, I'm not. If he's good, he's good because like you said, before, no Chelsea fan watched Nicholas Jackson, and now he's like the next Didier Drogba after 2 games. Right? So
I'm glad, I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm glad it's not just me, because when I said that yesterday on Casually, not that in particular, but like the way people are talking about it, I'm like, I know your brothers is starving, but it's like,
people were so against this because they saw he's black and he played in the counter-attacking team, and they're like, no, too limited, blah blah blah, all the dog whistle racism shit. And now they watch him play 2 friendlies, by the way. Now he scored an official goal. We don't actually know that he's going to be good. We just feel like he's probably pretty good, right?
Yeah. And
so now it's like, oh, he's amazing. It's like, how can your opinion have been so swayed over 120 minutes of friendly U.S. tour football?
What's worse is that, and this isn't me defending Sterling because he needs to buck his ideas up, but the fact that the Brazilian winger came in and has played approximately about 28 minutes of pre-season. Apparently he should stay.
Yes.
You know, after 28 minutes, you know what I mean? It's
We are-
like
we are making
because
hot
he's
takes.
like,
We are making hot takes on our season off 2 friendlies.
yeah, he should stay. No, he should definitely stay. And we shouldn't send him off to Strasbourg alone when we've got like about 18 wingers to begin with in the first place. Do you know what I mean? And what? Hang on, what happened to Madueke? Suddenly he's now on the sideline. Like,
He's out of here, bro.
He was
Like,
the next thing. He's
the one. He's the one who's going to Strasbourg. Moises is the one who's going to go to Strasbourg.
Or as soon as we're linked to Elise, yeah, Elise's going to come in. What do you mean? You said a few days ago that about some Brazilian kid was going to stay, and then Madueke was going. So what? It's the typical football fan. The typical football fan suffers from. I'm telling you right now, and they don't know this. They should do a study. The typical football fan suffers from schizophrenia like no one else. I'm telling you right now. The personality change in like a 48 hours for a football fan is
crazy,
insane.
I'm hearing about.
Actually, during a Saturday afternoon when your team loses like 2-0, but then your rivals like lose like 5-0, you suddenly have had a better weekend because you haven't lost by much. You know what I mean? Suddenly you've gone from the up and down are mad. But going back to the Caicedo thing. I'm just bored. I'm bored of this whole thing where it's like if it's announced, I'm just gonna be fine. And then the overreaction to the Chelsea community about how bad the summer's been. Let's face it, guys. You don't care about other signings. You just care about Caicedo. Once it's done, you will shut up. And thankfully, you will shut up.
I don't think our summer's been bad.
About other signings because let's face it, you don't care about other signings. You just care about Caicedo. You don't know who we're going for.
I don't think our summer's been bad at all, though.
No, I don't either. This thing about, the recruitment's been bad. You didn't know about 85% of these guys before we signed them. And also, you're just upset because we're not signing, like, the players you rate. That's the whole difference.
You've not gone in for a Kane or an Mbappe, for example.
Yeah, why are we going for Kane?
Yeah.
It's like,
also,
Shirky.
Hang on.
We've sold like 300 million worth of players.
We don't go for over... We've obviously got a profile and age of players we're going for, right? And also... Kane's. This is what I don't like about this new age Chelsea fan and other fans as well. It's like some people are telling me that this player is the best player I've ever seen, and I want to ask your age because you've obviously not seen a lot, or you're just wrapped up in this. Someone telling me I've seen Kevin De Bruyne is apparently a much better goal scorer than Frank Lampard. I'm like, well, shut up. You know what I mean? It's a record goal scorer for a midfielder. But this is the whole thing. It's like. If Kane gave us an inkling, or Tottenham gave us an inkling that it was open to move to Chelsea, even the most skeptical person of this ownership, do you not think they would go in for Kane? I think they would go in for Kane.
Yeah.
Tottenham don't want to sell to an English club, even with 1 year left. They do not want to sell to an English club.
United are buying some random Aryan kid. They obviously don't want to sell Kane.
They don't want to sell him.
They don't.
And the thing is, this is not a shock. We all know what Levy's like.
Yes.
This ain't new.
Bro,
this ain't new.
This is the same guy. This is the same guy that Ericsson told him to his face, I want to leave the football club, knowing that he had a year left, and let it all the way go to January and sell him for 25 million, but he could have gotten like an 80 million in the summer.
The same guy who sold Modric to Madrid for 15 million less euros than selling him to Roman Abramovich.
Well, he's a hater, bro. He's a hater. It's what it is.
I feel like at times, am I not watching everything? Did everybody miss something? I feel like I'm the only person.
This guy's forcing Ndombele and Lo Celso on the new manager. He doesn't want to play these guys. He doesn't suit his style of football. That's what I'm talking about. Why do people forget? So why do people have? I'm telling you right now. It's the memory. The people's old saying is you've got a memory of a goldfish.
They got Demeter.
There was a report last year that goldfish actually have a memory of 5 months. Football fans don't have a memory of 5 days.
You know what I mean? It's crazy. Wait, a goldfish has a memory of 5 months. We've been disrespecting goldfish all this time. You know what I'm saying? Because people say a memory of a goldfish. That's crazy.
Yeah. That's an insult to goldfish. That's an insult. Fans have memories less than that. I'm telling you right now, because they will criticize. Look at the Arsenal. Look at the Arsenal thing with Havertz. The mental gymnastics to try and back a player who you slated for at least 2 years, right, as a Chelsea fan, but suddenly he's going to come in like this pre-season hype as well. Oh, because of the volley competition last week. Oh shit, he was. Then he scored against MLS All Stars. Then randomly didn't play well against a fitter, a better United team who's had a better pre-season, but then scored against a put together Barcelona team who were on their first game of the pre-season tour, and suddenly it's flip-flop like that. But now he's gonna work, he's gonna earn it. It's just amazing. But circling back to the whole Caicedo thing, part of me would be great as you know, the petty person I am, because I am a very petty person. I like petty stuff.
Extreme. Yes.
If the legend, the rumor is true that he was Brighton's target. If we take him, Caicedo, Kudus, and keep Colwell, that's a big fuck you to Brighton. Right there, put them on a blacklist like that, because I can't believe that we are having this fight with Brighton to begin with. It's like it shouldn't happen, but that's the desperation of the need we have for a player like Caicedo. But I agree with Peter. If you don't get him, what's your backup plan? That'll be the most thing, because I don't know. And you know what? There might be someone like a Ugo Chukwu who we have no idea about. Why aren't we going for a Thuram, a Kefren Thuram from Nice? Why aren't we going for him?
The crazy part is if you do sign the player you just mentioned, I hadn't heard of him till today. If you lot sign him, some of your fans would be like, "Oh, what signing?" You know what I'm saying? This is the guy. Because what happened?
Oh no, they already did it.
Not even a surprise. You know what I'm saying? And he's not even.
Let me say to every Chelsea fan right now, right? You watch the French league. You barely watch PSG. Do not even tell me you watch a Rennes match. Do not even tell me that. You have no idea. You thought Rennes was a toothpaste before it was announced on there. Do you know what I mean? That's what you thought. You know what I mean? Don't even tell me you barely watch PSG. So don't even give me that rubbish that you watch. Oh yeah, he's a great. He looks like a Vieira. Yeah, you've watched the comp. I can tell right now when someone said something about that. You've watched the comp right there.
That's what I don't like. But circling back, it's the same with Højlund. Circling back to Manchester United. We are not watching Atalanta versus Lecce. Like, let's call us make no. We're not. We're not watching Palmero versus Bari. You are not. Like, you're not. Shout out to Steve. And Steve, if Steve's in the chat, I'll exclude Steve. Steve watches everything. I agree. If Steve told me he watched the league, the Belarus first division, I'd 110% believe in.
Shout out Belarus, man.
Yeah. Shout out to Belarus. But yeah, random shout out. But if anyone's watching from Belarus, but yeah,
yo, I can't lie. I started football manager safety. Like we will be there. We will be there.
We will be there. But yeah, it's not like so. Again, all you can go off is what you've seen, like glimpses, comps, and profile. That's why I always go with Højlund. The reason why I like the signing people, I've not sat down and watched him. Profile. Well, I always ask the same time, normally to Jez, because Jez is normally knows more about the player than me. Who is he like? And I always say, forget skill level, who's he like in regards to profile? Like people say, oh, Højlund's just the B-Tech Haaland. Hey, give me half of Haaland's output. You know what I'm saying? Give me a third of it. You know what I'm saying? Well, Haaland got 44 goals. Hey, give me 22. I'll be over the fucking moon. If he gets 10 Premier League goals, I'll be over the moon. People don't understand how starving we've been for a striker. Even if he comes in here and he's average, he's better than what we had last season. Because we had nothing up top. It was Rashford, and that was pretty much it by himself. Now Rashford did some form of assistance. Yeah, go on, bro.
Same with Jackson. You don't check. Other fans are going, why are you hyping him so much? Bro, have you not seen? Have you not? I mean, apart from the glimpses of Giroud, have you? And I don't like to use this word "suffered" because it's a football thing, but the way we've had to watch these absolute bombs up front miss like tap-ins. This guy has just shown in 3 games something that most of these joined together haven't shown. I mean, the way he bodied like 2 Newcastle players and set up a chance for himself. I can't remember the last time I've seen that. But then again, you have to temper it with pre-season. But you don't understand. You know, we're starving, bro. We haven't had that since Costa left. We have not had that type of player since Costa left whatsoever. And I don't care. I don't care if it's pre, because I think apart from Wrexham, like I said, I do like this form of preseason games against other Premier League teams.
Okay.
So I think they're more. Of course, they lose intensity with the subs come on, but when they start, there's actually more intensity than
there's more edge to the game. There's more edge to the game.
We saw it against Brighton. They had a man sent off against us, so
that's
it was
crazy.
That's right. But that's I do like it. But sorry, bro, we'll be shameless about it. We are at Chelsea. We are honestly, even if he had scored tap-ins. We would have been shameless because we haven't seen tap-ins, bro. We miss tap-ins. I want Nico Jackson to only score tap-ins this season. That's what I like. 15 to 20 tap-ins, and I'll be so shameless about it. I'll be so shameless. I'll say he's up there with the greats because that's how starving we've been.
Will you be shameless? Like the thing is, what I read about you, you're saying that yes, I'm coming from a shameless perspective. I'm coming from a perspective of we haven't had a striker. It's when whether it's Chelsea fans or other fans or United fans or whoever talk about a player from he's that guy. He's the pre-season. I was not even playing right? Matching yet. Same with Højlund. That's why I'm not here sat saying
Anthony Gabriel or whatever his name is does a few twists and turns, and suddenly we shouldn't send him out. We should bin Madueke. Imagine that Madueke comes Sky. End of last season, Madueke's going to really, really go on to this season. Come on, these guys are ready to dock him after the first. Man, these guys are. I'm sorry, man. These guys are hoes. These guys are hoes. Someone showed them a new credit card. And they ditched their guy. It's Jez. It's Jez. That's what it is. Jez with a new club.
It's definitely a whole
Jez with a new club.
Hey, man.
You heard that, did you? Okay,
Hey, man. All I'm saying is, like I see some league football starting already, fam. I've been watching some leagues that nobody's watching, but all I'm saying is, man, I'm gonna stay away from the football clubs. No, I'm staying away from my football club. That's what I'm saying.
Which one?
And someone said my mic's low. Can you hear me better now? I'm just moving the volume.
It was
your
fine.
mic's been the same. Yeah.
Oh, was it fine? All right, cool. Let me know. That might be too loud because it's been messing up at times. But yeah, all right, cool. You let me know in the chat as well anyway if my mic's good because someone just said it's low, but I just bumped up the volume.
Hey man, some of the logic in these comments is killing me.
Oh, it's crazy. But we get to it, Peter. Hold that for.
Some of the stuff kills me, man.
Yeah, we're gonna get to it.
I forgot.
Yeah. Hey, you know what it is, Peter? It's that new preseason optimism. Hey, I had it was literally, was it back-to-back days? No, because I was on casually yesterday. So Wednesday and Friday, I had the exact same debate on 2 different channels about Manchester United and Chelsea. It was crazy. Felt like I was in a parallel universe. Shout out to Rants. I was on Red Talk with him and Ty from Never a Foul, and I was talking about the reason why I don't think United can do anything major is our lack of goals. And then fast forward 2 days to casually, I'm talking about Chelsea's attack. And I think Chelsea have a good manager. I also think they have a good team. The reason why I don't think Chelsea can do anything is because of your lack of goals. And I feel like I'm like, we were all watching the same shit. Oh, we can't go off last season. But all right, if you were to sign Mbappe and Haaland, we'd be going off last season. Chelsea today signed Haaland and Mbappe. We're going to win it all. We're going to score 100+ goals. What are we talking about? But big up to Rhino, says one of the man them sent this in the group chat, and he's talking about Højlund in regards to how often he played and him being subbed and didn't start in those games. Big up Rhino as well every single time. And yeah, people don't take these things into consideration. Like I said, if he had scored 25, 30 goals, he's not going for that many. He's not going for this amount. We're paying for the potential, which I'm like, all right, cool. It works. But yeah, go on, Peter. What was you gonna get to?
Hey man, some of the logic, like, you guys don't like certain names linked to your club, but you're going to bring random names from Benfica, or you're going to bring Kakare, who's been stuck at Lyon for 6 years. Like, if a person in Ligue 1, who's been one of their highest rated talents for the last 6 years, isn't catching your eye as a prospect, and if he's still deemed a prospect 6 years later, why does that not raise a red flag for you? You want to say World Cup hype, but like, let's be honest, Florentino Luis, he's probably Argentinian because that's what Benfica does. Maybe they plucked him out of some Argentine league team. Like, does anybody really know about these players to discount World Cup hype? Just say you don't watch Fiorentina and just own it. It's cool. Like, Amrabat's been playing European football for a minute. I don't see how going with more unknown quantities as backups, mind you, it's not like they're being starters. I don't see how going with more established European-ready players right now is a bad thing for a backup position when your backups are Eriksen, right now McTominay, and whoever the fuck else is at United. I don't even know.
It's those two.
Yeah, like, you need numbers.
Say Dunny in there. Yeah. We do need a number.
Okay, Van de Beek, but we're talking like real players. Like, you know what I mean? We're not talking NPCs.
Yeah.
That's fun.
I hear you. That's why I don't mind. Like, I'm all for, again, profiles. I'm not watching Fiorentina week in week. I obviously watched him in the World Cup. Know his profile, similar to Cass, fits into what we're doing and what it fits into what we're doing in terms of being energetic in terms of being mobile, robust, that type of thing. And he can play with the ball at his feet too. So, like, all right, cool. And he's not going to cost a lot. For everyone talking about prices, I think it's 30 million. That's what they were saying, which is a steal. Which is, if we move on McTominay, if we move on Maguire, if we move on Fred and you add the Alanga money, that's that covered. So, like, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. Get these players out of here. So I don't understand the issue with people with the Amrabat. Bear in mind, he's not starting, like you said. Amrabat won't be starting, so you got to look at him as a squad player. Will he come in and do? Is he better than what we have as squad players? Yeah. That's it. Let's see what else. Hey, big up to Eddie in the chat as well. Big up Taza, who says, we got a striker, bro. I didn't think we'd get one. Also, Amrabat. Yeah, I'm hearing this as well. Yeah, someone said this earlier, Taza, about Amrabat, and we've made a bid for him. So it's like, all right, cool. I'm with it. And K2 says, bro, Jackson looks phenomenal, mainly because of how crap Havertz was up top for years. I get that. That
yeah, it's a little bit of that. There's a little bit of that for sure. Yeah.
And K2, this. Yes, this is the 110% facts. All of a sudden, everyone's an expert in football. Most of these fans are capping. The vast majority of them. The vast majority of them. I say openly, I get more things wrong than I get right.
Imagine this.
Go on.
Imagine this. Football social media was back in 2003 when you signed Cristiano Ronaldo.
Ah, Jesus.
Imagine the first 3 years until like 2000, let's say 2.5 years.
Yeah,
imagine the debates about who the hell is this? You know what I mean? Should we get rid of him? Stuff like that. It's just, there's no we all suffer from it. There's no patience. You know what I mean?
Zero.
If you don't know something, you automatically think you automatically think negative about it. If you don't know anything. Same with footballers. If you don't know who they were, I'm honestly, bro, I can barely find time to watch English football and my club in Europe sometimes. So don't expect me to know some guy who's been playing in the Norwegian second division who's banged in 85 goals and got 68 assists. Apparently we're close to stuff like that. Don't expect me to know that, and don't expect me to big him up. I'll give him a chance. Do you know what I mean? But don't expect me to. Nico Jackson, I'm not watching Villarreal versus Real Sociedad. Do you know what I mean? I'm just not. I'm sorry, I'm just not. Even if it was on telly, like what it is, but even if it was like on there, I'm not. I barely watch.
If it's on TV, you're flicking it over. You ain't watching that.
I barely watch the Italian league, but German league. I barely watch them. They're freely available for me to watch. I barely watch the Milan. I don't watch the Milan derby. I don't watch Bayern Munich or Dortmund. If it's, I forget. I don't put it down and like to remind myself. I'm not like that. Do you know what I mean? So it's all about it's name value, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? Yes. Imagine you had not signed a Nana, but you'd signed. Imagine you signed that Valencia goalkeeper, Maschiavelli, or whatever his name is, something like that, right? Okay. Now he's got a decent reputation. For myself, I've never seen him really play, so I don't know. Imagine that you would have gone, no, we can't. How do we replace him, David De Gea? It's because of name value, right? And Nana, let's face it, right? Nana is a good goalkeeper, right? If you've been watching him in the Italian league, but let's face it, right? Everyone's bigging him up for the Champions League final performance, right? That's where his reputation has come in, right? But imagine if he'd have pulled off a stinker or something like that, just in that game alone. In that game alone, and you've gone to sign him without like realizing that actually for Inter Milan, just for that year, he's been one of the reasons they got to the final in the first place. Do you know what I mean? So it's just about reputation and big names. If we'd signed Caicedo and another big name like another big star, if we'd signed Harry Kane or something like that, then this fan base wouldn't be up in arms. They wouldn't really care. If we'd signed Kane before Caicedo, no one would be talking about the midfield as much.
Even though it's still an issue.
Even though it's still a big issue, right? The big issue. We're not talking about. I mean, everyone's okay to go one more season with Kepa for some reason because, like, he's been balling out for 5 years, right? He's the one. We got top four with Kepa. Okay, we got top four with Chalobah, but you're okay to sell him. So why can't you get rid of Kepa? Do you know what I mean? We got top four a few times with Chilwell, but you're okay to sell him. Do you know what I mean? So what's the difference? Stuff like that. So it's just the psyche of the football fan in itself. We are the biggest hypocrites and flip flops going. Whoever calls you a flip flop, whether it's on social media or on the stream, you can guarantee they're one as well. Do you know what I mean? They're one as well. It's like say they flip. And anyone can change their mind. Like Troops is getting heat for his photo of outside the Wenger statue, right? and he's been criticised. And everyone goes, "Oh, this guy was one of the ones who's driving Wenger out." No, he was criticising a manager who wasn't performing well. We've all done it. If you
Why
can't,
is that
are you
Why
trying
is
to
that
tell
so
me
crazy?
you've never criticised any player's performance or manager's performance? Because if you haven't, then I don't think you're a real football fan.
Yeah.
I don't think
How
you're a
you
real
don't-
football fan.
Wenger clearly was failing at Arsenal, and troops
Yes.
called it out.
Called it out.
Because as
It's
rival
right to
fans,
do
I tell
so.
you right now, we was all happy that Wenger was there. I was
Yeah.
I wish he was still there now.
I was just
Ecstatic. I couldn't
That's-
believe
the
they
greatest
kept him
era in
kept him
Arsenal's
so low.
history to me.
Oh yeah, yo, people
the
don't
greatest
understand that AFTV was spawned from
Yeah.
the Wenger era. See what we're doing now and Surf is doing and all these other great content creators. AFTV was the first to kick down the door and take this shit mainstream.
Yeah.
Like, let's not act like we owe Wenger in high regard for what he did. If Wenger doesn't do what he did, and the people didn't in the Arsenal hierarchy didn't keep him on, we may not have got AFTV in the manner in which we did. That blew up. Like, AFTV transcended football fans, because I know people who don't follow football who watch that.
Yeah.
That's where that was at. We was all fans of it. Before I knew people who were actually on the chat, before I knew troops was what I was a fan. Still am a fan, but I was a fan first. Arsenal lost. I was watching it before I was watching the United content. Before I was going to watch Rants and Saeed and Aaron, etc., etc. I was like, yeah. AFTV.
You know the term Netflix. You know the term Netflix and chill. It used to be AFTV and chill. Yeah, that's what it used to be on Saturdays. Yeah, you'd wait. What you do is you don't wait. You don't wait for the videos to come out one by one. You wait you wait for the full. You wait like for hours or even the next day, and you actually set time in your day on a Sunday to watch the back-to-back videos like that. That's how big it was that you watch the back-to-back videos. It's the only channel that still you would watch that does the fan after Chelsea do it a bit. I know Lewis is on there, Fatter's on and stuff like that, but it's really in its infancy. The AFTV had its own AFTV and chill, bro. What are you doing Saturday? I'm watching AFTV.
Yo, like
Yeah,
as much as that's a meme, that was a real thing between like 2015 and 2018.
It was.
Yeah,
that was a real thing, man.
Like,
I'm watching some guy.
I watched so many
That's
AFTV videos in college, like when I was doing homework or whatever, like when they would get clapped in Champions League, like every year when they lost Atletico Madrid in Europa League. I watch all the content.
It's so good, people. I used to go back and watch it. Like, I'm not lying when I tell truth. Like, I know some of your fan cams word for word. Word for word, I can know some of his fan cams, how much I've watched them shits. So much. I swear now. Like,
you know it's great when they were knocked out of Europe and then, you know what? We've got Brighton or not. We've got Brighton or Southampton on Saturday. It's a loss, bro. Saturday lunchtime. I'm just waiting for the Arsenal result to kick in, and when they lose, I am just waiting. Like it's going to be
2017, 18. They were losing away games like every game. It was Wenger's last season.
Is that when they lost to West Brom?
Yes, they lost to West Brom. It was weird. It was rainy as fuck. They lost to Leicester. And then I think they lost to like Swansea or somebody, all in like the same month. And just how angry Troops was, I'll never forget that. Some of those videos are the funniest things.
Oh no. It's 17-18. It's the Man City League Cup when they lost 3-0. And then 4 days later,
they played them at home.
They lost. They played
like
City
2 days
again.
later.
They played City again in the snow and they lost 3-0.
Yeah. It was like 0 degrees. And they lost the City like 3 days later.
They lost 3-0.
Bayern Munich away, probably one of the best times.
Oh, that's classic. That's up there. That's a classic Troops. You know what I'm saying, when he was talking about his ticket and he can't get in and everything like that.
See,
yo.
this is the thing.
10-2 on aggregate. Bottom jump.
You guys have AFTV memories from COVID. Like, we're talking years before we even knew COVID was a thing. Like, yeah, lockdown. I'm sure the content was funny, but like, you guys, AFTV have been like a cultural icon on YouTube for like almost a decade now. I feel like.
100%. It's closing in on that. And that's why, all jokes aside, got to salute Robbie, Troops, and everyone else over there. Like, everyone else who was involved, salute to them all. Like, for people who try to get on their case, no. It wasn't AFTV and Robbie and everyone else's fault that Arsenal were doing bad. Same way when Arsenal performed well, it wasn't their fault.
You guys remember when they lost 5-1 to Liverpool? In like 2014? They were top of the league and they lost 5-1. I think that was the first AFTV video I ever watched.
Dude, watch the Chelsea one, the Wenger's 1,000th game.
Oh, yeah.
Was that Czech? Did Czech make a mistake that game?
No. That was a couple. It was Wenger's 1,000. They lost 6-0. when the referee gave the wrong light-skinned dude a red card.
Yeah, even though the guy came up
We
and
had
said it was
casual
me.
racism. They lost 6-0. We had a lot of shit happening, man.
There's a guy on there. There's Claude and Ty, right, doing their usual great stuff, and that's up to Claude, by the way.
Yeah, man. Claude, man.
One of the greats. It's time to go.
Yeah,
Still
brilliant.
used. It's the best. It's one of the best. But there's a guy who flew in from Australia because it's Bacon's first game. And Ty doesn't even give him any sympathy whatsoever. Not that he shouts it, but just his way he reacts. I mean, he reacts him like he just literally watched. He was one of his friends at his pub and stuff like that. And big up to Ty. That is not an act, by the way. I know
that's how he
people
is.
have been talking about him, but that is Ty. That is Ty to the max right there. He is like Claude said. He is the Arsenal gift store or whatever it is. You know, he's like
man's always so yeah. Shout out to, like I said, Ty. R.I.P. to Claude, like you mentioned, Troops, Robbie, everyone else you see, Turkish, everyone who was over there and helped build what they did. Because like I said, they kicked down doors for this entire thing, people. Like they made major steps, including myself. Like if AFTV don't do what they did, I'm probably not doing this at the level I'm doing it at. So like salute to everybody, like salute to what they all did, because they kicked down so many
is your
doors.
favorite content creator's favorite content.
That's
like
it.
deep down, and like people don't want to admit it, and that's cool, fine. But a lot of these channels that you guys watch for people that talk about your own club, a lot of them drew inspiration from what they do.
Yeah.
So just
without them, you wouldn't be watching. If you whatever channel you like that's a football related, without AFTV, that channel wouldn't be.
100%. Like that's and yeah. That's big right there. So like I say, again, can't big them man up enough. Large up to everyone in the chat. Obviously, this is Sarcasm City TV. So we go off and we go off topic from time to time. It happens. But continue to get your questions in, people. Please keep them Manchester United, Chelsea, or Tottenham Hotspur related. If you do indeed super chat, we'll get straight to it as well. We're currently at 74 likes. There's over 150 of you lot in the building. At 74 likes, let's get up to 100 likes. Let's get up to triple digits, and subscriber check as well. Like check 1212. Let's get up to 100 likes and subscribers. I'm just refreshing the screen right now to see how many subs we're on. We're only at 7,314. We're looking for 6 more subscribers. There's over 150 of you lot in the building. Over 150, and I'm only asking for 6 subscribers. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell as well, and check out the upcoming live stream schedule also as well. Let's see what else you lot are saying in the chat. Oh yeah, to LM10, let me get to this. Are you doing a watch along for the Spence Crawford fight? There won't be a watch along, but I'm doing a recap after the fight. So like half an hour after the bout's finished, I'll be doing a Big Fights, Big Nights Only podcast to recap. So after the fight, I'll do a recap for you lot over there. Ahmed will probably be on. A couple of my American dons will be on as well. Big up to everyone who locked into the preview. Make sure you check it out after this show as well. I can't wait for that. Really looking forward to it as well. And Ed says, going back to Højlund, we can't deny he's overpaying, but that's what our club always does. So why are fans acting like this is something ridiculous? I do think we slightly overpaid, but not by too much. I was saying 60. I said 60 million, I think, is a fair price. I think ended up paying 70, 75. Yeah, go on.
Flawless. Everybody, here's the thing that fans of big clubs need to understand 2 things, right? There's an additional tax based on the prestige and financial position of your club. And 2, niggas watch you guys play because you're Man United. We saw Weghorst score no goals and still play because you had no one else because Martial's not fit. We know there's no one else. So why can't they say, hey, you're going to pay this or you're going to kick rocks?
Yeah.
And that's just it. That's the end of it. So yeah, it would be nice if you could get them for cheaper, but people view this as United just throwing around money because they can. I think in some of these positions, you're so poorly stocked that you have to overpay to get things that you critically need.
But people don't realize that. People don't realize how bad we are from. That's why.
It's just Casemiro last year. People all this money, blah blah blah. But it's bro, they weren't going to run McTominay for the whole season.
Facts.
You just realistically, you don't have the numbers to make it happen. You could try and haggle over Højlund, but you already tried to knock on Levy's door. He said, "Get the fuck out my face." So then, really, what else is out there? Mbappe, don't joke. Not really going to happen. Doesn't really play through the middle anyways. So, I don't know. Okay, the striker market's kind of lean. We had to go get a Senegalese guy from Villarreal. The striker market's not the most stocked up position for this summer, right? Nope. So people have to look at that and understand the climate that they're trying to work in.
Yeah.
It is what it is. That's the going rate when you badly need players and everybody knows it. Yeah. Maybe next time don't put yourself in such a poor position.
Seller's market.
It's a seller's market. I still don't think it's that bad because I'm saying we overpaid 10, 15 million. I'm not really fussed. Once you start going double the amount, when we start going double the amount that I think we should pay, that's when I'm concerned. 10 to 15, I'm not really too fussed because reports were coming out initially that it was as high as 85, 90 million. And I was like, no. If you're talking of that, walk away. So to get him for 70, I just use 70 million. That's because we're hearing different things, but it's around that mark. Slightly, but slightly. I'm saying 10 million too much. If we would have paid 60, I would have went, all right, cool. Not really a problem. Big up to Bandit as well, who says, do you think Højlund will start straight away or Ten Hag will slowly integrate him into the starting 11 like he did Casemiro? No, I think he starts. Because you got to understand with Casemiro, he got here late. I think we had already played 4 matches in the Premier League and then signed Casemiro. So it's not like he was up to speed with the team, and I don't think he was match fit like that. Whereas Højlund's going to get at least a couple games.
You guys start on a Monday, the Monday the season opens, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he'll have 2 weeks to train, right?
Yeah.
Essentially. Get over to where you have to, and you'll have 2 weeks to train before your first game. He should start.
But you've still got like 3 or 4 preseason games left, right?
Like 3 games,
I mean, your preseason.
You might have a couple, I don't know. But
no, I think I read some of it ended up they ended up playing about 8 or 9 preseason games.
Not many. Because someone said, I think it's Bilbao. I think it's Bilbao and Lens. I don't follow preseason.
No, because remember they played before the America tour. They played like
they do.
Leeds,
you guys do
Lyon,
play
right?
Len and Bilbao in friendlies next weekend.
Yeah, and they've already played
They play Dortmund tomorrow, Surfer.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and they've already played Real Madrid, Arsenal, Lyon, and Leeds. I think because the Wrexham one doesn't count because that's the under-21s and stuff like that. So
yeah, I will. I would.
At least 6, 7.
Start. Also, it's not like you're blessed with options that are just available.
No, we still need another striker, people.
We're playing Sancho at full snipe for Christ's sake.
Exactly.
You know, he's trying to force Sancho into a role. That's what he's trying to force Sancho into a role.
That's the other option. That's the other option, though.
Yeah, that's the other option.
But the fact that Sancho, who was bought as a wide attacker, let's say, is being moved into a false 9 position because out wide, Ten Hag has probably seen enough and gone, you can't help me there.
Yeah. You can't help us out wide.
And persist with Anthony because he's my guy and I bought him. Yeah. Then actually look at who's the other option? Martial. I mean,
yeah, you don't.
Martial. I mean, we're talking what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He's approaching his 9th season at Manchester United. Not 3rd or 4th, his 9th season at this. Honestly, and he's injured again. I mean, got injured on loan for frigging what was it, Sevilla? Wasn't he?
He's injured now. Yeah, it's a wrap. That's why I've said. It has to be Højlund, and that's why I'm not just looking at Højlund and going, it's solely on you. It has to be Højlund, and we need something.
I think you go veteran.
Cool.
That's what I mean. I think you'll go like a cheaper veteran.
I'm cool with that.
Balance it out, but I don't know who that is. But you'll go.
I'm cool with that because you know why? I know that veteran's better than what we have because what we have is nothing. So he's a step up to 0. That's why I've been looking at Højlund. I said even if he's average, even if he has a 5 out of 10 season. That's better than what we had. If he gets 10 goals in the Premier League, that's much better than what we've had. That's an improvement. Like that's what I'm looking for as improvements because we ain't doing anything anyway. It's not like we're a striker away from winning the Premier League. If we was, then I'd be like, all right, this is a bad move. Once, like I said, you looked at our team and we signed Mount, I was like, all right, we ain't doing shit this year. I'm saying, once we signed Mount, I was like, it's a wrap. So I look at our midfield and go, the other players have to be exceptional. The other players have to do the business, like in terms of creativity, because that shit.
And we saw against Real Madrid. You can't start Bruno on the right. It just doesn't work. As much as whatever you think about Bruno, he's better more centrally than he is out on the right. Because unless he's like a Beckham where he whips it in and he doesn't have to go past anyone, he can't go. He literally cannot go past anyone.
Oh yeah, we know that.
And if you start him and Wan-Bissaka on that right hand side, it's a dead side.
Yeah, it's all about when Bruno plays wide right there. And obviously, I didn't watch the game against Real Madrid, but if we're playing away at the Bernabeu, for example, and he plays there, I'd be an advocate. I'd be like, because I'm not looking for him to get on the ball. You're there to stop them. Because I seen it was on Twitter. It popped up and like how Ancelotti's playing a diamond with Tchouaméni, Valverde, Camavinga, and Bellingham. So let's say they was playing that against us. I'd be like, yes, play Bruno out wide right and let him invert and be a stopper. Same with Mount. If you get on the ball, I'm not looking for Bruno or Mount, especially neither of those two in particular, Mount, to do anything on the ball. You're all off the ball. You're there to be spoilers, as Eddie calls them, tryhards. Big up Eddie in the chat. Like, that's what I'm looking for him to be do. Because one of his better games was, in the big games, was the away game against Barcelona. He played wide right. And he did exactly that. Because they had the fullback, what's his name? Balde was there. He didn't start, but I think he came on. But I can't remember who else was there. But invert and just run around and be energetic and close down and press. But yeah, when we signed Mount, I was like, all right, we ain't serious this season. Cool.
Can we listen? Someone put in the chat. So can we talk about Spurs? No defenders still, Jez, for Spurs.
All right, we'll go there. Yeah, Jez, the floor's yours, man, because it's been all quiet with Spurs. So, you know,
Nah, it's just, I mean, we've just been in the preseason tour, and obviously, yeah, just nothing really going on, to be honest. But then again, you got to understand, just we don't have anybody even in the structure. We don't have a director of football, even somebody that's there to be just overlooking like the football operation. Like, for example, finding people to hire these certain positions, because like somebody was supposed to be in by now, but there's some hold up with the City group that he is at, so he can't come in right now because they're holding him up to come into us. So we don't have him. We don't have a director of football. We have no technical director as well. So I don't really know who's really doing the transfers other than Levy. And Levy is not a footballing guy anyway. So it's a really weird situation, to be honest, in terms of transfers coming in, to be honest. But again, like, when there's no structure behind a manager, you can't really expect much, to be honest, in terms of like everything going smoothly. Like, again, I'm like, people ask me, are you worried? I said no, because of course it's going to be worrying that we still don't have a centre, but maybe in 2 weeks' time when we play Brentford, then Brentford probably is our hardest game in terms of the way Ange plays football. But in the same way, I just want to see how the window ends. I just want to see how the window ends. Like, I'm just more patient than other people. That like, I'm just willing to wait and actually wait till the last hour comes to the window. And
he does like a deadline day deal. He does like a
exactly like
deal.
I just rather just wait till then, and then I really give my full. Like, we could sign one of our top centre back targets today, and I'm still like, I'm not really gonna wait the window until the end of the window.
I think like Van der Ven should have been done, man. That's like a £30 million deal.
Yeah,
right,
but it's confusing because Fabrizio's just repeating the same stuff, which I mentioned on the last time show, where people complain once because Fabrizio's always saying the same thing, but when Fabrizio says nothing, they complain because he says nothing. So it's like, what do you want to complain? What do you want to complain about? So people complaining because he's saying the same thing about Absorber, that he's still the number one option, but the price tag could be difficult. But for me, it's like, if it's really that difficult, just move away from the deal and just move on to another deal. Like, my issue is, it seems like Tottenham have identified at least 2 centre backs, and there's nobody else. And for me, if you had the structure behind that already, a structure in terms of recruitment, I don't think we still will have. I feel like we would have had a centre back there, but like I mentioned before, we don't have that. So for me, it's am I pissed that it's not there? Yes, but then again, who's really owning the club? Who's really running the club? And then you think about it, and then in reality, then you can just realize, you know what? It's just what it is, to be honest. Like I said already, like getting mad at Levy not getting things right, for me is pointless, because you've seen it for 18 years. Like, for me, like, at this point, like how long do you want to get? How long do you want to be angry? Like, I've seen people complain about football kids. Like, we haven't released our away kit yet, and no, we haven't released it yet. Obviously, we know what it looks like. Everybody knows what it looks like. Everybody knows what it's going to be.
Actually, I don't think we have either. Actually, like officially.
No, you guys haven't officially released it either. So other clubs haven't done it as well. But obviously, Tottenham fans like to complain. But because we had a WizKid concert today, and these Tottenham fans wanted Tottenham shirts to be sold at a fucking WizKid concert. Like, there's no correlation to it.
Yeah,
so for me, it's like I said, Tottenham fans just finding everything possible not to complain about. Like, I'm seeing somebody complain about us signing players from certain clubs instead of trying to sign players from bigger clubs or at same level as a club as us. Like, which is funny enough, one of the signings that was mentioned, Man United going to Chelsea to buy Mason Mount, but Mason Mount is a shit signing. So what's your point comparing this?
We got Gallagher gift wrap. We got Gallagher gift wrap for you if you want.
Yeah, this is my point. Yeah, so based on that logic, you should be happy on that signing because we get bought in from Chelsea. But it's Chelsea that would though. So it's like Tottenham fans just find that's why I probably muted like 100 Spurs accounts on my main account on my Twitter or x.com now. Like it's just really annoying I can't really talk to Tottenham. Like, if you understand, I can't talk about Tottenham to Tottenham fans unless it's not Tottenham fans. Because it's
you
just
can't talk about Tottenham, but you can't talk about Tottenham to Tottenham fans.
Yes, because I should get a headache. Because these guys are just then making it difficult. I'm like, have you guys not seen how we've been run as a football club? Like, for me, it's like they're overcomplicating things. Yeah. Like, it's simple. Levy doesn't at the moment he doesn't have a Scooby-Doo right now. He has no idea what he's at the moment doing. And to be honest, I just feel sorry for the manager, to be honest, because I've seen encouraging stuffs. I've seen encouraging things in the preseason I've seen. And he's playing the start definitely the fan base will like for sure. But again, if we go on into Brentford and the left side of the centre back is fucking Davis or Dyer, and then we have no idea if Harry Kane is still the striker, and then who the replacement is going to be. Like, it's just I understand guys being worried, but in the same time, you gotta also understand who the people are running and also who's currently in the operation. We don't really have people currently in the operation for certain things in place for us to running like a proper football club. And I talked about it with a certain Tottenham fans about it, because at least I can talk about Tottenham with them. That for me, the biggest thing that we need this season is stability in terms of like just the manager staying for a year and understanding how the club works. Because it's not like Ten Hag, where Ten Hag knew certain players and he can just tell the club, just go and get him. It's not going to be expensive and we can just go and get him. Ange can only really go based off guys from Japan and from Scotland. And let's be honest, if he were to bring in half of the Celtics team, Tottenham fans would go crazy. So
I will say,
you continue. Let me just get to this real quick. Big up Hem for the super chat. He says we signed Terminator as well. Let's go. And that's with that. He's got a Swedish flag on there as well. Hem, big up for the super chat. Much appreciated. I hope you're right. I really do indeed hope you are right in regards to we signing Terminator. I hope so. But I hope
it's not Terminator Genesis. No, that was trash.
I ain't watched that. Yeah, man got the wrong flag. He put the Swedish flag and he meant to put the Danish one. It's cool, him. Don't worry about it. I thought the reason why I mentioned the Swedish flag, I thought he was running some sort of joke.
He was talking about because he put the Swedish.
I think he is Danish, but he got the wrong flag. He said it anyway. But him big up. But go on. What was you gonna say?
I was gonna say I think Spurs' preparation for new season, just on their preseason alone, is just is so Spursy. The way that they started off against West Ham like second team, and they conceded 3 goals from West Ham's 4 attacks. That's what happened. They then go to play Leicester, and it's like rained off. It didn't happen. And then they go batter some Indonesian Pirates of the Caribbean team. But it's the way they've gone to like places where it's like monsoon season.
Just carry on one second.
And I know it's like they have to do it because they're getting money for it, but it's just mad. I mean, I think of the pre-season schedule at the moment, you don't play after the Indonesian game last week. You don't play for another 11 days, right? There's no
we're playing next Sunday against
exactly. And all your guys are basically, some of you guys have only had like 45 to 90 minutes of pre-season football.
Exactly. It's not going to be. Unless they're going to have behind the door.
That's what they have to, right? They have to have at least one.
Because it's not gonna be enough games. Like you can't. I mean, technically, 2 games got cancelled because we were supposed to play Roma, but Roma got cancelled, and that's And Barcelona was the replacement. But Barcelona is literally the last game before Brentford, and playing Barcelona is probably gonna be an L, considering
Yes, you guys are playing Shakhtar.
Yeah, next week Sunday.
Okay.
But that's it's like 11 days after the Indonesian game.
Literally. So that's what I said. We will have to play some sort of behind the door closed game, whatever. Like, because it's not a lot of games. So like I said, it has been hectic. The manager has pretty much said as well. He wants, and which I like about Ange, like he's just being direct in terms of what he's saying. Like, if this was Conte, he would not said stuff like he wants the Harry Kane situation to be sorted. He would have been talking, saying like, you know what, Kane, you have 1 year left. Let's go again. And if you want to leave on the free, you go. Which is not the right thing to do. But I'm just like, if Kane leaves. We have to just then deal with it. Which is like, for me, which should be the mentality, reality. It should be the mentality. And obviously Monday they're going to have a meeting. And because Bayern look like they are serious about it, but if they're really serious about it, then you go and pay the money. Then like what Levy's asking for, because
they've sold Mane now as well, so they've got extra.
So Mane is gone as well. Like the only striker options are Choupo-Moting and Matisse Tel, who's like a 17, 18-year-old. There's not even guaranteed that he's gonna play for them. So
and they barely won the championship last season. They scraped it.
Scraped it. Literally on the last day, like it wasn't.
They scraped it. Yeah,
scraped, and it wasn't even like in their hands. It should have been like Dortmund should have just never lost that game against. Exactly. So for me, I feel like Bayern look like they're serious in it. So would I be surprised if Kane? Maybe you see it here.
You think they are right because they put in 2 bids, right? And Bayern don't. But Bayern are really persistent when they think they must have been given some type of inkling that obviously from the player himself that he's.
The player is ready to go. Like
the player wants to go. The player wants to go, right? Because I think the player, Harry Kane. My feeling is this with Harry Kane. I think he's thinking 2 or 3 years at Bayern, win whatever, come back, and even at the age of 33, 34, I can go to any Premier League club and get the 40 goals over a 2-year period, possibly.
Yeah, because
or 3-year period. And break the record, even if I'm a sub.
This is what he was telling reporters. This was
that's what I'm thinking.
Because he believes based on his condition, he believes that he can play up to his 40s. That's why go to the Bundesliga, help them win the 14th Bundesliga in a row, and then just come back and just break the record. Then this is his plan. So
do you remember last week there was a report that to entice Spurs a bit more, they put like a buyback
clause. It's like, see, funny enough, would I be surprised if he accept that? No, I wouldn't be surprised because again, it's Daniel Levy, so I wouldn't be surprised. But in the same time, Levy wouldn't then pay like 70 million or some shit.
Oh no, it'd be like because it'd be 34, it'd be very cheap. But what I'm saying is that if that option is revealed, you can totally tell in the Spurs community. It's okay. We're going to get Kane back in 3 years' time. Everything will be fine.
But this is the funny part. Some Spurs fans like myself and a lot of other them, they're against it because why you want to have a 35-year-old starting for you that can't run already at 30?
Yeah.
But then there are some who are just emotional, like, nah, we need Harry Kane back. Without Harry Kane, we are a relegation side. I mean, we are with Harry Kane a relegation side from what I'm looking at right now. So it's like, it doesn't really matter to me personally. And you might as well just take the money and reinvest. Like, personally, I said, if we keep him, not that I'm saying that I'm against the idea of having a Harry Kane, because again, you can't deny his qualities, but then we have to just also accept he's going to leave on the free. It's just simple as that. So,
plus, even if he was to stay and leave next summer, you still have to buy a striker anyway.
Exactly.
So you might as well get money. And the thing I think is that people will automatically go, well, we'll go for Tony in January, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I think Daniel Levy will try and get him on a cut. I think everyone will as well, but I think especially Daniel Levy will try and get him on a cut.
Oh, yeah,
like
100%.
30 million or something like that.
Unless we have some people there where he's not the one anymore doing the deals in the first place. Like if you have a director of football by the time, because apparently we are interested in Tony.
Yeah, so is everyone.
Which is true, but it's gonna be probably more intensified because of the fact that Kane is
intensified by the way if you sell Kane, don't replace him, and you've got Richarlison up front who doesn't do anything.
You just stays offside like crazy. But the funny thing about that is because I said this, there's only really a few strikers I actually want, and I don't even think Tottenham have really too many in their mind. But I said already, like, you might as well just throw all that money that you get on Kane to just get Kolomani in, because I feel like stylistically, I just believe, even though am I against the idea of paying that much money for somebody that just had one breakout season in the Bundesliga? 100%. But in terms of the profile of player, he's 10 times more of a better fit than Kane is right now, actually, if you really think about it. But Kane is just the better player, which is like you're arguing the better profile that fits the system, or the better player but doesn't fit the system. That's why I've seen Tottenham fans don't want to sell Kane.
Got the Lukaku if you want. Got the Lukaku if you want him.
I mean, Lukaku can't even fit Burnley's system at this point. Like, so yeah, the fact up. But no, it's just it's a hectic season. But that's why I wasn't coming when Ange was hired, or even if I'm a big Nagelsmann fan, like as everybody knows. But even if Nagelsmann was here, I'm not expecting him to give us Europa League or Champions League, because it's too much going on with this whole Kane thing as well. No director of football, no centre backs. Like, it's too much for the manager. And for me, like, everybody that's putting high expectation on the manager and want the manager out because we are 10th midway through the season.
Oh,
I'm like, technically, we should be lucky. We should be lucky to be 10th, especially if Kane leaves and we don't get a striker in.
But did you notice Did you notice though? You probably would notice it's like with anything, like United fans, Liverpool fans, and Arsenal fans over last season. When you signed Maddison, you noticed that no Enoch or Levy out.
Yes, but no, everybody's again leaning out because we have no sign of centre. But again, it's just for like this. What you go when this when we just go back to what you said earlier about how football fans are just very reactive to what happens in the now and not what can happen in the future or even what they forget about the past. Like somebody could have literally killed somebody, but if he plays ball for your football club, nobody gives a shit. Like, it is what it is.
It's not. There's no morals with football fans or football clubs.
Exactly. Like, as long as you keep
doesn't exist. Yeah.
Exactly. As long as you keep winning, it doesn't matter to these people. So it's like, for me, it's gonna be a big challenge for Ange. And just for me, like I said this already, like we didn't have a manager for a full season since 18-19 season.
Jesus, has it been really?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yes, because then
they've done it on us.
Yes, because then like, it's probably worse because like we sack managers midway through the season, bring them midway through the season, and then sack them for the next season midway through the season. Like this is what we have been doing. So like that's what I'm saying. Like for me, I'm just happy if we finish in 10th or just in the top table, and the manager stays at the job. Because it's been
you're looking for some form of stability.
Stability, yes, but something where like the manager understands what the club is. The manager has a structure behind him, and we can just build something because we don't operate like a normal club where just everything can go normal. Like everything has to be traumatic. But then you also have to expect that certain things it's not going to be. No manager in this world, even Pep, can fix our situation just within one summer. I mean, Conte himself said it himself. It will take at least 2 to 3 summer windows to get this team where he himself believed.
You're not even sold anyone. You've only sold Harry Winks.
Yeah, we only sold Harry Winks, yeah.
So,
by the way, we got 37 first-team players in the squad right now. And
do you say 37?
Yes, because all the guys who came back on loan. Because Conte fucked all of them back to loan, innit? So it's like instead of trying to force a sell, so we have to that's what I'm saying. Like, there's so much to deal with, just from like not even the football until we get to the football. Where like I cannot sit here and expect the manager to go and be like, "Yo, get us even Conference League at this point right now." Because I can tell you for sure, like Emery has a structure behind him. Brighton, De Zerbi definitely has a structure behind him. I mean, Chelsea look like they're getting their stuff together now. I mean, Man United, even though the Glazers all this and that, they're still backing the manager at least with the money. So, and then we all know the clubs are already there: Liverpool, City, Arsenal. So it's like it's not easy for us to just come in and get things right the first season. And I'll be honest, unless this guy has us sitting in the relegation zone for all season, most of the time, I'm not gonna really turn into like we couldn't finish 13th, and I'll be like Ange in, because we have to just understand what the current situation is. Like we have we have a team that is built by 4 managers, and they're all statistically different to each other as well. And then you want to have a 5th manager now implying his style to that team as well. So it's like it's just too many. It's too many things to manage. Too many things that goes against the manager right now.
There's a difference with Spurs, with Kane and without Kane, obviously, right? There's a different expectation. So with Kane, there's a optimistic outlook. You could snatch a European place, right?
Yeah.
With Kane, but without Kane, it's like, and if you don't replace him as well, there's like, even you lot playing once a week, there's like, where do the goals come from? Because Son's an extreme purple patch player, right? He's like, he is, and looking at him the last couple of, I know it's preseason, but I don't know if he can go past the man.
No, he can. I said this. I had this worry before.
Yeah.
But these preseason games has confirmed it for me already. He cannot play left wing for us.
He should play in the middle. This is what
I was thinking. Like for just one season, let's say we can't get the striker because it was kind of too. The club wasn't prepared, and we don't have the people who can scout. I was thinking, you know what? Get your scouting team ready, get your recruitment ready, get your director of football on that, and just scout the fucking world. Go to Singapore, go to Belarus, go to Serbia, every part of the world, and find a striker. Yeah. I don't care. Don't come back to England until January and not June. By the time it's June next year, don't come back to England. I want you to go and just go. You know what? Like, just make a whole trip around the whole world to find a striker. Like, at this point, you might as well because.
Hey, buddy, do you learn the term Airbnb? Because you ain't coming home.
You're not coming home. You don't think about trying to buy a house here, from like you.
Yeah.
You
actually sublet your house and get some rent money because you ain't coming back. If we're getting your passport revoked as well.
Exactly. So it's like I said.
But I get your point though, Jess. I get your point. I do understand that. I really do get that. Large up everybody who is tapped in as well, over 175 of you like in the building. We have gone over 100 likes as well. Let's go to 120 people. Let's get up to 120 likes. Continue to hit that subscribe button. We're still too short of 7,220. We are too short. Get that should happen instantly, because I know there's some new people in the chat. I know by some of the comments. So make sure that you do indeed hit that like button and hit the subscribe button as well. And to King Books, who says, Arsenal and AFTV slightly made you guys, let's be real. Hey, even though slightly think about it, they definitely influenced us. Made, no, but did they influence heavily? Yes, of course they did. Heavily influenced. That's not a shot. You know what I'm saying? I'll take that as a credit. Everybody's influenced by somebody, whether it's in any profession, whether it's this, whether it's sport, like professional sportsmen, whether it's music.
I know Flawless is heavily influenced by me. So.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Where do you think I've been being so petty for him, or just being a complete prick? You know what I'm saying? There you go, innit? It's his surfer. Right, that's legit what it is.
All blessings to you.
So. It's all blessings. Same to you. That's why we all get along here. If you notice, all the panelists have that in common. We're all pricks. You know what I'm saying? Me, Surfer, P, or Jez. Everyone else you see here. Even you lot in the chat, the way you lot be cracking your jokes. And what's crazy is, when I talk to some of you lot on the Frank Hojlund show, I'm like, I get why you like the channel. I understand it. Like, people just be on there and be like, all right, this is my time to get my jokes off. Big up to Jay Stringer as well, who says, I hope to God I'm wrong, but where the goals coming from, especially if Bruno's being played on the right, it's a problem. You know where the goals are coming from, Jay? They're not coming from nowhere. We ain't getting that many. That's what it is. That's why I don't think we're doing anything. We are not scoring goals like that. We're not.
You might get some from Onana. You don't know. Like, he plays
so. Yeah, man. Okay. Maybe Onana can pitch in with 5. Yeah, that will take us to, I don't know, 60, 65, 70 maybe. But we're not scoring. When I say that, people, I don't think we're scoring enough goals to do anything serious. Can we win? Can we finish in the top 4? Yes. Can we win an FA Cup or League Cup? Yes. But other than that, Premier League, Champions League, forget about it. Forget about it. And Toll said the same thing. I don't see the goals either, as that's what we lack, attacking structure. Once the players grasp that, we can challenge. I don't think it's a question of the players grasping it. We just need better players. These attackers are also good enough. Big up TJ as well. You know what I'm saying?
Not about footballer grasping. They can understand it. It's the application.
Yeah.
Because I could tell, you can tell anything to a player. It's how they apply it. Doesn't mean, it's the talent. You know what I mean? Can they do it? Like, for instance, there's no doubt, right, that who's your one of your worst players?
Scott McTominay. Or are you talking
Okay,
about
there's no doubt that they've told him to do stuff. They're training him, right? They're not like leaving him alone to think for himself. Because I know it looks like it sometimes when he plays for United, but not for Scotland, which is weird. But but there's no doubt they're telling Scott McTominay to do something. It's just that he's not talented enough to apply it. So that's really then on the club and the coaching staff and stuff like that keep putting him in. You know what I mean? There's no, like with Chelsea, it's like Kai Havertz. It's like, there's no doubt they are training this guy. They're training this guy and trying to help get better. But he wasn't good enough to do what they wanted him to do. But you still kept on playing him, which is then more new than it is the actual player itself.
Yep, 100 of them, like legit. That's what it is. And Totolzi says, I don't see goals either because that's what we're like. Yeah, in regards to this, we can challenge. We just need better attackers. This is why I'm saying it. Højlund's a good start, but it has to be Højlund and there needs to be more. We need another striker. Now, if we sign another striker, a different conversation, depending on profile. But we still need more. We don't have enough goals in this team. I've said this. We do not have enough goals in this team. Take Rashford out of it. This attack is not it in terms of goals and output. Everybody got to improve. And we're looking for everyone to either have personal best seasons in terms of goals or like double what they did last season, which is an extremely tough ask. And all we've added Højlund. Yeah, we've added Onana, but not so much in an attacking sense. And then we've added Mason Mount. Like, that's why I was so like, we missed opportunity because we could have went and got a real quality player to play there, whether it's offensively or defensively or both. Like if you had put a Caicedo next to a Casemiro, not saying we should have signed Caicedo, just using him as an example. Same with the De Jong. Look how different the midfield now looks. But big up to Yoza as well in the cut. As always, says like for man like Flawless at the paddle. Big up as well.
Big up.
Danish Maldini says Højlund, Martial, experienced striker. In my opinion, you're fine. Yeah, that's what I just said. I do agree with this. If we sign another striker, let's say we were to sign Harry Kane, then I go, all right. If we were to sign Ivan Toney and he's here in January, I go, okay. I'm saying it has to be Højlund. We can't just be like, all right, just Højlund, you're 20 years old, it's all on you. That's just unfair. And your supply line is Bruno and Mason Mount and Sancho and Anthony. That's just unfair. Players who are either not been good enough or players who are looking to see the best from and need to improve. Well, they all need to improve. All of them. So it's like your supply line is dodgy and you're still learning as well. And yeah, big up to TJ as well. Yeah, you man, a joke as well.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, before you go, let me just get to this from Mohammed, but hold that question. He says, Flawless, do you think Højlund's pressure to score 20 plus goals now? We see 85 million euros. We also need to get young strikers to scout South America or Europe. Yeah, our scouting, that's a whole different conversation. I hear you on that. I think he's under pressure to score 20 plus goals across all competitions, yes. In the Premier League, no. And I'm seeing this is another figure. I don't even know if it's 85 million euros. What is it in pounds? Is it 70 M's? Is it 75?
I've read so.
By the way, 85 is the with the add-ons included, so it's for 75 plus 10. So
wait, 75 million euros or 75 million pounds?
Euros.
So 75 million euros plus 10 in add-ons.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's like
So that's how I made it in 85 million euros. Yeah.
Okay, which is, let me just type it into Google. But yeah, go on, Jez. That's your question. The floor is yours.
Yeah, actually, no, because I saw the Chelsea thing that the Shirky thing is off, and one of the reasons was the attitude was apparently one of the reasons. Do you guys actually believe that?
No, I think it's just the situation Leon are in. If they can't do any transfers, I just think they just didn't want to put. I don't think they think he's worth the 50 million euros they want for him. I said euros because I can't see any pound signs. So I just don't think they want that, and I think they can get. I know people have come out today that Kudos has chosen Arsenal over Chelsea. I've not seen that anywhere reported, but people are running with that on streams. So
you know what people like.
I think but they also forget to put in. Although he would go to Chelsea as well, they also leave that point out of the actual headline. So, well, I've read on Twitter anyway. But I think they can get Kudus for a much cheaper price of 40, and they think there's more of an upscale with Kudus. He's not saying he's in his prime or anything, but he's 22 and he's been more of a goal threat. Or maybe they also think that Elise is another one. Premier League proven. He's got last season. He's getting 11 assists for a Crystal Palace team who want free scoring. I know when Hojlund came, they did suddenly get a bit free scoring, but they're not they've got like Edouard up front. Do you know what I mean? Or Mateta, whatever his name is. And they're not like free scoring. And so I just think they have better options out there. I'm a bit surprised about the attitude thing that's come out. I mean, he's 19, so are you saying
apparently he had that already when he was 17 because he's been out for quite some time, but then I
think you can drill that. I think depending on the manager, the manager thing, you can drill it out. It's not like it's a side note. It's the issues I have with people that criticize Mbappe. Oh, look what he's done to PSG. That's PSG's fault for enabling that. The clubs enable players to be that big pricks. Do you know what I mean? So, I don't think he's actually a prick. I just think you've given him something, he's run with it. That's your fault.
Yeah,
but
he's done none.
With Turkey, he's 19, and what's the? You can brand someone. You can brand anyone. Oh, he's got an attitude problem. Well, what do you mean? What's the attitude? What do you mean?
Yeah.
It's such a headline and covers. Oh, that'll cover everything. Oh, he's got an attitude problem. What did you ask him to do? Like, build you a house or something? And he said no. I mean, well, of course he would have an attitude problem. You keep asking him to do that. I presume it's not that, obviously. But what you ask him to do, run a lot in training. I mean, Eden Hazard was one of the worst trainers at Chelsea ever. But on the pitch, he was electrifying. Do you know what I mean? It's like. I just think that's just a lame excuse, in my opinion. It's just a lame excuse. So I think it's heavily more about the price and Leon used to be what Napoli were. With negotiating, it was that guy. I mean, he might be still there actually. The president was known for one of being the toughest negotiator.
Apparently,
De Laurentiis is still there.
He's still there.
Still there. Okay, so
he's he's got a history of. Didn't you buy in Dombele from Leon?
Yeah, we did.
Right, yeah, he cost 60, right? He cost you 60 or something?
60,
yeah. That's what I mean. So it's like he is.
Oh, the Leon president, the guy. That guy left.
This one fought.
Allah is his name or something. It's,
he was heavy. Whatever his name is. But I don't think this Turkey thing, the attitude thing is. I just think it's an excuse. I think it's more in that they don't want to pay what Leon wants for it. Or they don't feel he's worth it, and that's fine. I'm not. If you don't feel he's worth it, then I have no problem. I'm not one of these because I like him. And funny enough, Turkey. I've always felt Turkey links were spawned out of an opinion piece that one of the Chelsea journos did about the players that we should be, in their opinion, we should be targeting, and his name, and then it sort of rumbled on. I don't think in overall we ever looked at Turkey, but we've just had to say we're not going for him because people keep asking about it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, oh, so you linked to Turkey? No, we have never actually looked at. Turkey's never been on our list of buys, but you guys keep asking every single effing question, stuff like that. So I just don't think he was ever actually on it, in my opinion. But because it doesn't make it. It also doesn't make sense then when you think about. Carney Chukwuemeka's there. You've got links to Kudus, and you've got links to Elise, and you've got Nkuku is there as well. So it's like it doesn't really make sense in the end because we haven't really since the news came out today about Turkey. We haven't really had any reports about him for the last couple of weeks. So it's just I don't like long answer, but I don't think we were ever in from him in the end. So.
Yeah, first, hey, large up everyone who's still locked in. Get your final few questions in, please, people. Keep it Manchester United, Chelsea, or Tottenham Hotspur related. Let's continue to bump up the likes. We're at 117. Get us up to 130 likes. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe. We have gone over 7,320. 4 more people. Get us to 7,325. That is the next subscriber mark. When you enter the city of Sarcasm, pay the toll, people. Hit the like button. That is the tax in the city of Sarcasm. Make sure you subscribe. I did drop the links in the chat just before. We are available on audio-only platforms as well. So SoundCloud, Spotify, iTunes, wherever you listen to podcasts, type in Sarcasm City TV. And this show and all the other shows on the channel here on the YouTube and on the Twitch, apart from Pro Clubs, watch-alongs and fan calling shows, are all available on audio-only platforms. There's new links as well, people. fresh pages for all of our audio on all of the audio platforms. So like I said, SoundCloud, leave us a follow. Make sure you comment. Spotify, follow us on there. Make sure you 5-star us on iTunes as well, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you're listening at. And if there's some audio platform we're not on, let me know, and I'll make sure I submit the RSS feed to it and get us on there as well. Because like I say, some people just don't want the YouTube app open, which is fine. Maybe he's working in the gym, might be at work, cooking, cleaning, moving about, etc. So that's all that is. But love to everyone who's locked in. Go on.
I think the tag is you should put on there. If you listen to us cook while you cook, that's it.
Shout out to Prime who said that. Facts, you know what I'm saying? You might be cooking it and listen to us cook while you look.
The Italian stallion came up with it.
Yeah. It was the Italian man himself, innit? The boy from Bari. That's who he was. Yeah. That's it.
By the way, I need to ask you, Eddie, if you're still in the chat, just answer
the
this
lad
question
from
quickly.
Lecce.
I forgot to ask. Do you think
The man from
LeBron's
Milan.
Eddie, do you think LeBron's jersey should be retired at the Lakers? I just need to know because I saw Genie Buss say something about that he definitely get a number retired.
Who's that? LeBron?
LeBron, yeah, I seen that. Sophie, you can answer that as well. Sometimes I forget that you did. I also support the Lakers.
Still do. I just took a break.
Break. Yeah. So I see
career break.
I always see that Pelican, and I think you a Pelican fan, like something like.
Yeah, I just like the picture now. I just do. I'm very wary to discuss LeBron given his personal circumstances at this moment.
Oh yeah. At this moment, yeah, I heard that.
For me, if it's sporting terms, I don't think he's done enough for the Lakers to get like a Kobe, Shaq, and all the rest treatment. I just don't. Even if once he breaks the scoring record, because that's what it is now, isn't it? And fair dues, he's been playing 20 years in the league, and he's won 4 championships at different teams, which I think is the only player to do so. For me, I don't know. Genie Buss is. But this is a problem when you let your kids inherit your business after you die. Yeah, after you pass away, which is what happened. Dr. Buss was a brilliant.
Technically, you said the same thing, but
yeah, but I don't know. He hasn't done. For me, an overall Lakers thing, it's not enough for him to get a banner up there. You need to win. You need to do what Kobe did. You need to, because Kobe was the dominant player overall for many years in the NBA. LeBron's been dominant in terms of on the Eastern Conference. He owned that conference for years. It was just the only way you get to the finals is going through LeBron, and they didn't. Like Cleveland, no doubt, right? And even in Miami, no doubt.
Yeah,
Miami, no doubt as well, winning back to back. But Lakers now, you've got to do more. You know what I mean. You got to do a free. You got to do a three-peat.
Yeah, it's like becoming a legend. It's like actually becoming like a legend at United.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
I don't think he's also. I don't think he's also had any. I count the bubble out. I can't think of a truly 10 defining moments of him in a Lakers jersey. Do you know what I mean? Like really stand out. You know when they do the compilations on YouTube, just whether you can go to Cleveland and you got hundreds. Even Miami, you've got. I mean, off the top of my head, that dunk for Miami in the Boston where he's he dunks on the guy, and he just stands over him. For me, it's just not. Good player, great, one of the greatest players of all time, no doubt. But as a Laker,
he needs to do more because it's just a one championship.
Same with Anthony Davis as well. If that's brought up as well, same with Anthony Davis. They haven't done enough. They won a championship, no problem.
That fully makes sense. Big up to Jody as well, who says Kane doesn't suit how United wants to play since he doesn't press. We would have to completely change how Ten Hag wants us to play. And that's why when I said what I said about Harry Kane, it was for different reasons in regards to, well, it's similar. Like, I wasn't talking about him not fitting the system. I was just talking about him being non-mobile and non-athletic. That's the way that Ten Hag wants to go. Kane doesn't suit that. Don't get it mistaken, people. If we were to sign Kane, I'd be like, cool, because Kane gets goals, Kane gets assists, Kane would be a great fall for others. He'd be a fantastic addition to the team. However, is he the player to take us over the top? I have my reservations. And people will say, oh, well, Højlund's not. Yeah, but Højlund's 20 years old. So that's potential. I'm looking at it and going, I like your profile. I like the way we're heading. Okay, you have a full season, and let's see where we're at. I know what we're getting with Kane. I doubt Kane. Let me even go one further. I highly doubt Kane's ability to take us over the top, because he's never taken Spurs over the top. When I say take Spurs over the top, I'm talking about just to a trophy and not a major win.
Yeah.
He's good enough to help Spurs win the FA Cup or Carabao Cup, and I will die on that hill. If you're a world-class player, you're good, and you're in one of the top 6 teams in the country, which he has been at times, or top 4, which Spurs have been, you're good enough to win a Carabao Cup or FA Cup. I'm sorry. If you're world-class, let's hold you to world-class standards.
I actually think that if he does go to Bayern, his actual game at the moment will suit Bayern. Because of the way
Tuchel also just upset.
And plus they got the 2 wide players who can then bomb on even further. He'll still get all of his goals, no doubt. But the way that they usually set up in a 4-2-3-1, although Tuchel's there, so they might do wing backs, we never know. But the way it's set up, usually Bayern, they do a 4-2-3-1 system, or 4-3-3 sometimes. It depends really. But that would probably suit him even more. Just on a side note, I know Red Devils are regular here, but any sport is a relegation. So I really don't. It's like so basketball, the playoffs. Is a knockout tournament. Okay, you have to win it. It's the same with tennis. It's the same with Formula One. Just because a sport doesn't have relegation doesn't mean it's not competitive or anything like that. If you don't like it, no problem.
Yeah, everybody got their preference.
Yeah. It's not for you because I don't listen. I don't really watch Formula One. I don't like it like that. I think
go-karting.
But stuff like that. But I understand it. We've had the Kane. It's like I just think his game at the moment doesn't suit United. They want to press. The problem is if he goes deeper, if he goes on the pitch, if he drops back more, doesn't that then go into Bruno's position?
Yeah.
You make Bruno captain of the club, so what's the point? Might as well sell Bruno. Stuff like that. What's the point?
Yeah, that's legit what it is. And again, people, I'm not saying Kane, we shouldn't sign him on against it. No. I'm just saying I have my reservations and plus preference. I don't want a non-mobile, non-athletic striker. I've said this for the longest. That's why I like Højlund.
You guys are also talking about this as if signing Kane is a possibility.
Yeah, because we're just talking
about
hypothetical standpoint. People have been obviously you've not been around. People have gotten to me about that because I said I have reservations about us. If we miss out on him, I'm cool.
I mean, realistically, if he wanted to go, I don't want to go deeper into the situation because it's an hour and 40 minutes into the show. But if I really wanted to say what I really wanted to say about him going to United in terms of just system-wise, or even, let's say, because I said, we talked about how Chelsea possibly, if Kane was on the free, he could have joined Chelsea. I don't know if this version of Kane is that guy for a Pochettino system, personally. But that's just me.
That's what I said. I don't think this Kane suits the Pochettino system. I just don't think it does suit a Pochettino system.
Man, he's extending a time. He's not going anywhere.
No, I'm saying that Kane changed in the 1920 season when Jose took over. Jose dropped him back, or he allowed him to play his back, and that's where he got the 20 goals and nearly 20 assists season. Do you know what I mean? Like that. He is that player now. You can see it. He wants to do that. He wants to be the creator and a goal scorer, right? So for Poch right now, that's not what Poch doesn't want. If you notice how I know it's preseason, but I don't know if Peter agrees.
But
we're playing faster now. The actual pace of our game, the 2 games. I'm not going to do the Wrexham one because it's Wrexham. But the 2 games against Newcastle and Brighton, it's a faster pace. Whereas before, we were so slow. It was we were the one. We are until I'm proven otherwise. At the moment, we are one of the worst counter-attacking teams in the league, if not Europe. Just because we're so slow in condition. And I don't think Kane works in a Poch type system right now because I think Poch, and like all managers, is a nature of habit, right? They'll want to do what they want to do previously. Now, the way Harry Kane's right now, you clearly have to change.
You have to rip up the system. It's simple.
You have to rip up the system. That's why I don't think. That's why even if I don't think he'd even go to City right now, even if Hojlund wasn't there. I maybe he would, but he would like for instance, he doesn't fit. I'm saying I don't know. I just don't think. I think people are football.
It's a confidence conversation, but it's just the way the player is right now. That's why That's
Like he
why
wouldn't suit
Lewandowski-
Arsenal.
yeah.
He wouldn't suit Arsenal right now. I don't think.
Because you know why?
No.
You know why he don't suit these teams? Because he's not a modern day striker. He's the last of a dying breed. He's the last of a dying breed. Doesn't mean he's not good
Lewandowski-
people. Him and
Yeah.
Lewandowski and Benzema's and these type of strikers are the last of a dying breed. Bear in mind, Benzema's top quality, don't get mistaken.
Yeah.
As is Lewandowski, as is Kane. They just not modern day strikers no more. Same way goalkeepers who just save shots are a dying breed. Same way who fullbacks who just defend are a dying breed. Put Wan-Bissaka in the 90s, early 2000s, starting week in, week out. But now your fullbacks need to do so much more. Same way your centre backs need to do so much more. Because you're more on the ball, no matter what system you're playing at. That if you're at the highest level, I'm talking about in particular. So yeah, that's what it is with Kane. Like I said, I have my doubts. Big up to Ryan as well. Says good morning, lads from Barnsley. He says good luck, lads. Hey, big up, man. I wanted to get to this because we never had a Barnsley fan in the chat. So salute to you. I was saying, big up, big up. I remember when they was in the Prem. I was saying that's years back.
Yeah, they got smashed.
Where was it? Was it? Is that ground called Oakwell? It's Oakwell, right?
Oakwell, yeah.
It's Oakwell Road. It takes it back.
Something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
I'll put it in the chat, right? What's your
But hey, love to everyone who's locked in. Big up, man. You lot are real ones. Make sure if this is your favorite show, there is a play to go check out the previous shows. There is a playlist for it on the channel. I dropped the links to all the audio platforms in the chat as well. Big up to everyone listening on all the audio platforms. Big up to everyone who's watching as well. Way over 170 for the vast majority of this live stream. So I hope you lot have enjoyed it. We won't be back next week with this show because I'm doing the Sarcasm City TV specials all the next week, people. So it'll be at different times. So we won't be back to regular schedule until not this Monday coming, the Monday after, people. And for those that haven't seen the Sarcasm City TV specials before, sit down with the biggest and best content creators one-on-one discussing their club plus other things as well. So previously, like Rance has been on, Lee Gunner, Troops, Lewis, Matisse, the list goes on. There is a playlist for that as well, people. So that's what I'm going to be doing all next week. So just keep an eye out. Just all that's what I'll say is keep an eye out. But we are back live on the Twitch recap, people, for the Spence Crawford. There'll be a recap 30 minutes after the final bell, Spence Crawford, whether it ends in round 1 or it goes to round 12. We will be doing a recap on the Twitch. Is there for anything you want to add before we close out?
No, like I say, hopefully, well, the next time we will speak this show, I think, is there a Friday night game in the Premier League?
It'll be
City versus Burnley.
yeah. So we would have had
the first Premier League game, and then it's basically a preview of the season. Maybe in 2 weeks, we'll still be talking about Chelsea going after Caicedo still. So.
Yeah, probably is. That's what we'll be doing. So yeah, the Friday game would have gone on, and then the Saturday games. Yeah, they would have gone on. Yeah, I think so.
Oh yeah, Saturday. Yeah, so we would have had the Arsenal game, and I think City play. No, City. Anyway, I think Liverpool playing Chelsea on Sunday. Definitely the Arsenal game.
Yeah, the next one will be the 12th. So yeah, there would have been
so the Arsenal game would have happened at lunchtime. Maybe
your mob as well, Jez, right? You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, you playing.
The Spurs mob ain't they Saturday? I swear they're the Saturday game. I think so.
They're away to Brentford, right?
Yeah, that's their mob. We need a Brentford masterclass.
We might have the first of the actual regular season rant from Jez. He says he's going to be calm now, but that never happens when it happens on the matches. When the matches happen, all your preview stuff like, "Oh, be okay," goes out the window if you lose. It goes out.
And big up to TJ as well. And just to Jay, who says there's no such thing as a modern day striker. Yes, there is. Because strikers of the past could just score goals and be calm. You know who's not a modern day striker? Lukaku. Them strikers are dead. You know what I'm saying? Strikers who just score goals are dead. Because that's what it used to be like. Strikers have to score
strikers
goals.
Didn't get judged and you never added assists for a striker.
Never. Now you do. What's he like for the team, etc. Peter, what are you saying, man?
Can you press?
Yeah, all that type of stuff.
Hojlund's got 36 goals, yeah, but how many assists? 4. Oh, man, that's not good, man.
Scrub. Name one modern day striker? Haaland. There's one.
Haaland. I don't even know if you can count Osherman yet as a modern day striker.
Osherman's a modern day striker.
Evan Ferguson.
Yes.
Haaland, yeah.
Tony.
Højlund. This
It's
guy-
now about an all-round.
I mean,
Ollie Wat, and this is not skill level. I'm just naming.
Yeah,
one
we
of
don't
those
want just the
strikers.
guys who
Ollie,
just-
Ollie
yeah.
Watkins, people.
Nah,
Wilson.
flawless strikers don't evolve as the game evolves. They're the one position immune to evolution. Didn't you know that? Come on,
clearly
man.
I forgot. Ollie
Yeah, man,
Watkins,
strikers
Callum
don't evolve.
Wilson.
They're all the same all time.
They're not Jay. They're not. They just
4-4
strikers. Okay,
fucking
alright.
2, big man, little man, crouch the foe. It's all the same, man.
It's
so
all the
yeah,
same shit.
just kick it up to Peter Crouch, man.
They just strikers.
Fuck yeah, lay it
cool.
off for the foe, smash that shit. Fucking
Cool.
John Walters and fucking Cameron Jerome, it's all the same.
Exactly, man. Bring Brenton,
Used to play.
Duncan Ferguson at the back
Duncan
post.
Ferguson, yeah, facts. Like they're all modern day strikers. The reason why I name so many is because most that breed of like Kane strikers don't exist no more. There's no more Harry Kanes, and he's quality. Don't get mistaken, but they don't exist. It's all about. It's an athlete's game. It's all about athleticism, in particular at the highest level.
That's it. It's all about PMP.
Yes,
That's why.
It's also true from a tactical standpoint. Like managers these days want that. Obviously, it depends what team you play for as well. Like if you're like a Luton, obviously maybe not, but a Pep, Arteta, Xavi, Poch, etc. Ten Hag, they all want to start defending from the front.
But
Kane-
when I say PMP, that's not a detriment. I love that Nico Jackson's PMP with techers. That's what I like. I want PMP. I want PMP up top. I want that because you get more in position to score with PMP than sometimes with skill.
Thanks.
So I want that. I want PMP with techers. Give me that. That's what I want.
That's why talented players like João Felix can't get a club. Well, you know, that's a whole different.
Don't get me started.
It's a whole different.
Be here for another 4
yeah,
hours.
exactly. It's
The
a whole different conversation.
This guy is so overrated.
Yeah, facts. I've been saying it. And to
Hey
Red
man,
Devil
he can go to
says-
Wolves with the rest of the Portuguese guys.
Yeah, facts. And to Red
George
Devil, he says,
Henderson.
so would you lot have Haaland? Yes, I would 110% have Haaland at my football club. Why would I
Yeah.
not? And to Jay, who says a striker's job is to score goals, you are absolutely right. But it's to score goals and do other things.
But now it's an all-round game.
Yeah,
It's
there's
an
no
all-round
striker.
game now.
There's
The
zero
job
strikers.
description is more than 7 words, brother.
Yeah, there's zero strikers who succeed at the top level who give you goals and nothing else. But whole different conversation. And to people, someone who asked in the chat about Spence Crawford, I think it's a 4 a.m. start. I don't think it's 3 a.m. I think it's
Like
a 4 a.m.
Vegas.
start. Yeah, it's in Vegas. I think
Oh,
it's-
yeah.
That'll be like 5 a.m.
Yeah, 4 or 5 a.m. people.
Oh,
But
5
I will
a.m.,
be
wow.
watching. Then there will be a show after because I'm.
I listed it for, but we'll see, man.
But yeah, floor's yours. You know what I'm saying, Peter? Anything else you want to add? Good to have you back.
Nah, man, keep supporting the channel. Good to be back. Glad that we're going to be gone for 2 weeks, though. Next time we talk, there will be actual matches to talk about that are about to happen. And no more debating price tags in euros or pounds or like complaining about shit, hopefully. Although we'll probably find something to complain about.
Oh,
You know
we
how it
always
is.
complain. We always complain about something.
Yeah, so, you know, it is what it is, man.
Hey, I want to know why we're not getting the actual total in Saudi money, these transfers. You know what?
Hey,
the Saudi,
getting
you know what I mean? Like we're getting euros and pounds. I want the actual denomination in actual the
Pull out your
Yeah.
Google calculator. You'll be all
That's
right.
what I mean. I want that. I want it to read like 18 trillion, whatever the Saudi money are paid or something. I don't know what the actual currency is on there because I don't.
Yeah, but by the way, I just have to quickly mention, how did we not mention it? Joe Lewis getting arrested because of what's it called? What insider
Trading?
Yeah, insider trading. Yeah, so
That's definitely illegal. So he can plead
yeah, it's
guilty.
illegal.
all
So
he,
he's getting obviously he's gonna get arrested in that. But
he can plead guilty all he wants, but for them to charge him, they gotta have something.
Bro,
Yeah.
even if he gets jailed, he's going to a prison with a golf course on it. So it's fine.
No, I understand, but like financially, like I don't know. In terms of selling Tottenham,
It's
that
not
might
happening.
play a role years down the line when this is
Yeah.
actually decided. But I don't think
for
things are
the
gonna
for the
happen in
immediate
short term.
future, nothing's gonna change at the moment.
Yeah, of
These
course
trials take years. These trials take
Yeah.
years. Because
But
you got
for
to
them
go
to
through.
arrest him, they've probably been digging for years.
Oh yeah.
Actually, there have been. There have been already because I remember there have been reports about it already since 2020. Like Tottenham Tottenham arrogators talking about it. So it's been in the groundwork for some time. And funny enough, today I saw something about takeover, and apparently JC is looking to take over Tottenham. I was like, get the fuck out of here, man! Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, on that note, we go end.
Yeah,
That's
like, I was
JC
like, get the
takeover.
fuck out of
Oh,
here.
all I know, guys, that when they knocked on Joe Lewis's door, he heard this. You know what I mean?
Oh
So
my god, this guy. This fucking guy.
Hey, he's 85, man. The stress is gonna. I'm not gonna say that. I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say
Well,
it.
they didn't push his life alert button. It is what it is.
All right, on that note, on that note, people, we're gonna close out. Jez is blessed. We ain't even out of this
Oh,
shit.
they can't get up.
Yeah, love to.
Yeah, man, we should end the stream.
Hey, they're gonna start singing. Lewis is in the box and the like. Oh my days.
Hey, man, give it 5 years. I will be there no matter what.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
We
I
close
give-
it
I
out.
give it 2
Love to
years.
hey, you man. Right, love to everybody
Well,
who has
they'll
locked
spend
in.
more. He'll spend more on his defense than Spurs on theirs, so it's all good. You know?
Man, are crazy. Right, love to everyone that's locked in anyway. This has been the Manchester United Chelsea Spurs show. Man United, Ballers at the Bridge, talking at Tottenham Talk, live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be live after the Spence Crawford rematch on Twitch and then back here on YouTube at midnight for the Sarcasm City Sports Q&A.
See you guys.